So when Queen I just said, my patience running low and you ain't got enough time, so pack light and do you. Okay, look, I don't know how to sing. I'm like, I call myself a medium singer. I think I'm a little bit, sometimes I could be a little bit below medium. Sometimes I could be above, but let's jump into today, okay? So I know I've been gone for a while, so hi again, guys. Whew. Life has been lifing. Like, I'm just shooting this video like I'm on a pillow in my room. I got laundry. My man gonna be walking in anytime. Like, yes, I'm still engaged. Oof. But anyway, so I wanted to do a quick little story time about court today because my baby daddy is a hot mess and baby daddies are ghetto, and I'm gonna tell you why. But yeah, before I jump into any of that, I just want to say hi again, everyone. I know it's been a while, like I said before. Life has been life, and I have so many updates, a plethora of updates, and it's just been a lot. Like, I even quit my job and then rescinded my rescinded my like 2 weeks. It's just been a lot. Okay, we're gonna talk about that too, probably in another video though. Today's about court. So yeah, back in August, doing some little research online, found out I had court coming up, and I'm like, oh, okay. A couple weeks later, got something in the mail. My child father decided to take me to court for joint custody. And before he filed for joint custody, he quit his job like 2 months prior. So I'm not receiving any child support because although he quit his job, he just stopped paying, and then also, yeah, so he wasn't paying, wasn't hearing from the guy, didn't know what was going on, didn't care to reach out to him because I'm like, whatever, everything is taken care of over here. So when I found out about court, I reached out to him like, hey, if you want joint custody, let's get this process going. Like, let's do this, boo. So like, I had a sit down meeting with him. We had like a little dinner. This was our first time actually having like a family dinner. Yeah, actually, yeah. So we sat down, me, him, and the baby, had a talked about, what are some things he's looking for. Y'all, I'm so sorry. My nipples are to the floor because who finna wear a bra in the house? Like, that's just cut, all right? That's a different story though. We ain't talking about that right now. Don't focus on that right now. So anyway, yeah, so I'm like, look, parenthood is a lot. I can tell you what I go through, as a mother, as far as working full time and taking care of the baby when I'm not working. Like, this is the day to day, right? Like, she's 2, she's potty training, like, you need to cook her breakfast wake her up in the morning, change her pamper, or make her go sit on a potty, make her some breakfast, get her ready, get out the door to school, and then, pick her up after work, get her home, cook dinner. After that, you bathe her and put her in her pajamas, and then you also still need to like spend time and put in time with her for the simple fact she has limited TV time and screen time. Therefore, that other time she has needs to be supplemented with educational activities and whatever. Like, sometimes I could be a helicopter mommy, yada yada, but I'm just grateful. If anyone know about my health history, I'm very grateful to still be on this earth to be a mother. So I take any time with my child, like, that's I take it so seriously, and I take her life seriously, and just want to provide her with the best opportunities, and I want her parents to do her other parents to do the same. I'm never one to keep her father away. I've never tried to keep her father away. I do have boundaries, right? So like, do not like message me at 9 o'clock at night asking to see your child. She's already in bed, baby. She has a bedtime, and let's be honest, what are 2 adults going to do in the house alone while the baby sleep? My point exactly. So I'm just like, you can see her, that's fine, just give me an advance notice. Me having like full sole custody means that I have to plan around my schedule in order to get her to you, and mind you, she doesn't know this man. So that's another thing that we have to worry about, is like, how is she going to be with you? Is she going to be comfortable, right? So when I reached out to him back in August after I found out about the court filings, it was mainly to tell him about like what to expect as a father, because he never was present. Okay. Introduce him to his daughter. This was like his second time in person meeting her. And then, you know, just like talk about the ins and outs and things to expect, and like, you know, hey, you're gonna need a car seat, you're gonna need a potty, she's gonna need somewhere to sleep, you know. And I think it was really dawning on him like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta take you to her daycare or her school, introduce you to her staff, you know, get you access to, you know, signing her in and out, and like all this other stuff. Like, there's a process, right? Like, there's things to do that needs to be done. And so how do I say this? Yeah. Okay, so like as a mother, right, we tend to have our ways with things where even if we say like, okay, we need help and we need support, if we see someone doing something not right, we're going to be quick to jump in like, hey, this is not how you do this. Hey, her bedtime is at this time. Hey, you know, please don't feed her too much sweets and juice. Like, I'm that type of mother, okay? And so he just was not into it. Like, when I would bring the child around him, and I wouldn't be overbearing, but like my boundaries or whatever was, okay, let's just meet in public during the day at a decent time where I can get off work, you know, early enough and get her to you and let y'all still have y'all fun and still go home, and, you know, have to get her ready for the night and for the following day, right? And he was just not interested in his own child. Like, he was more interested in talking to me than his own child, which was the first red flag. No, probably not the first. There was a lot of red flags. For the simple fact, he wasn't really interested in getting to know his child and knowing the processes and all of that until after he quit his job, and stopped paying child support. I'm just doing this because I don't want to pay child support, okay? And this is probably the only way for me not to pay it, is to get joint custody, okay? So he filed joint custody. And so I spent time trying to get him acquainted with his daughter, and my daughter, she's not like really like an outgoing kid, but she has been overly like nice to this man. It's like she already knew who he was when she met him. It was crazy how well she connected with him, okay? And I am open to letting my daughter, you know her father, love her father, know her family in general. I'll never like keep her away, right? And but in all these opportunities that he had time to spend with her, he never took initiative on like changing her pamper, making her a bottle, even getting a car seat like to pick her up, like, and not even to like plan out the days that he would have with her or see her. I did everything. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm telling him like, I'm trying to prepare you for what to expect, but now that you know who you are a little bit, I'm stepping back and it's time for you. Like, I'm trying to ease you into this because I know from my experience, this wasn't just something you could jump into. It was I had to jump into it, but it was a learning experience for me. And I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. Okay, so if there's any advice or help or something I could give because of my parenting, and I know this is my child, of course I'm going to be helpful. But anyway, tell you about court. So basically, speed up now, it's court time. He comes in and he's just like, hey, you know, I got this paper, can you look over it, tell me what you think? I look over it, we're discussing it. I'm like, okay, what did you do? Get this off of like Chat GPT or something? Like, it's just like something you clearly asked AI to make. I'm confused. So we're talking about it and he just wasn't making sense to me. And I'm like, yeah, this baby, what you asking for on this paper ain't gonna fly, right? So we just in the waiting room talking. They call us to the back, and you know, because he's the one who petitioned us for court, he had the right of way to talk and all this other stuff. Y'all, this man, let me tell y'all, I only had to answer 3 questions. I only spoke 3 times. First time was my name. Second time was, what are your thoughts, Miss Turnbull? Third time was, all right, any last questions, Miss Turnbull? The whole time this man was talking, he didn't know what the heck he was speaking about. Like, I'm just like, what's really going on, friend? Like, it was just given no. Like, if you at court for joint custody of your child, of course, like, you think you're the first father who came in for joint custody after he quit his job, and then because he didn't want to pay child support? Not once in this court session did he mention why he wanted to have joint custody, why he wanted to have his child. He came in there lying, like, we have an agreement, we signed off on it, this, that. I'm like, Your Honor, I just saw this paper outside. And we ain't even speak, like, we really ain't even speak on it. We just now start having conversations. Ain't no agreement. What are you, like, stop playing with me. And I was calm and I was collected, but he was really playing with me. But I'm so glad I held my composure, because the way they ate that man up, yeah, just wasting our time. Literally just wasting our time. Like, they're like, sir, like, they're gonna look at the reason why you quit your job. Not only did you quit your job, they want to look at, like, why you quit your job. What was the reason? Why you still not paying child support even after you quit your job? And even if you are, like, let's say, employed for something else or self-employed, why you not reporting your income? They're gonna look at all of that. Y'all, the whole time, like, literally within the first 5 minutes, within the first 5 minutes, we were asked about child support. I mean, not child support, but custody and what we want. And the judge gave him an option, like, do you want more time to talk about it, or do you want to proceed with what you filed and, like, for the joint custody? And then I'll hear you out, I'll hear her out, and I'll make a judgment. When he found out that the judge had the opportunity to make a judgment on him getting custody, and that child support had nothing to do with it, he lost interest. He had no interest in getting his child. He had no interest in getting joint custody of his child. His first question went straight to, will child support stop? Will child support stop? They're like, no, that's something different. Like, that is something different. Like, you got to go through this process for child support. This is just for custody. And he like, oh. So the whole time, he spent time going back and forth with the commissioner and the state attorney, because he feels some type of way about child support. Not once did he mention he wanted to be a father. Not once did he mention the circumstances for why he wanted his child. Not once did he mention, just in general, like if there was anything bad, if I was keeping the kid away, anything. He mentioned none of that. The whole thing was child support. And they just, you know, they ate the guy right on up, because they've seen this before. They've seen this several times. So if you think that you're going to just quit your job and try to get custody and don't even state why, they're going to be onto that. And then the whole time you're just talking about child support, they're going to catch on to that too. And they had to remind him, like, sir, do you remember in 2013 you waived your rights? Okay, my fiance here. I'll do a part 2 later. Okay.